Hi guys, welcome back to the baseline. Thank you so much for joining me. So, somewhere between the campaign podium and your mortgage statement, a miracle was promised to you. Make housing affordable again. But blink, and that promise starts looking a lot like a controlled demolition of the American dream itself. Because this week, the White House floated the boldest housing intervention since 2008. It could be a plan that could save homeowners or maybe sink them twice. They're calling it an affordability push. But behind the press release, it looks suspiciously like a reset button for Wall Street's next housing cycle. So here's the thing no one really wants to say out loud. Every time Washington says we're fixing the market, they're really repositioning who gets to profit from the upcoming pain. And this time, the stakes aren't just your mortgage. It's the very idea of a home. So let's try to ground this, right? Because President Trump's team has outlined 5 proposals. Lean on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac just to juice construction loans. Sell off federal land for development. Cut completely like housing subsidies and let crypto count on mortgage applications. And if that's not enough, declare a national emergency on housing, a national housing emergency. And it sounds dramatic, right? Because it is. If signed, it lets the president rewrite housing rules without Congress. Now, that's not policy, that's executive architecture. Now, here's where the numbers start talking. Because in 1975, the median home cost $38,000, about 3 times the median income. Today, it's $410,000, almost 5 times that income. And mortgage rates have doubled from 4 to 6.5%. So that jump alone eats a third of a family's paycheck before taxes even hit. It's like the American dream quietly added a subscription fee you never agreed to. So the logic goes, flood the market with new homes, prices fall, and everyone wins. Except they've been saying that for 20 years, and the only thing falling is construction worker morale. Developers aren't building starter homes because profit margins live in luxury condos. And if Fannie and Freddie start buying riskier loans again, we're replaying the 2008 mixtape, just with faster Wi-Fi. So let's take a breath, pause for a moment, because if you remember 2008, banks handed out mortgages like free samples at Costco. When it crashed, taxpayers ate the bill while the CEOs took their bonuses. Now, imagine giving that system government steroids and calling it affordability. Cutting housing subsidies, meanwhile, it sounds like fiscal discipline until you realize it yanked support from renters barely surviving inflated markets in the very first place. So it's like fixing a leaky roof by stealing your neighbor's umbrella and then selling public land. That's the quiet part out loud, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. Developers win, but future generations inherit less common ground. And literally, right? It's privatization disguised as progress. Then there's crypto, or the crypto clause, letting digital assets count towards mortgages. So it's a cool headline, but potentially a risky reality. Volatile coins backing long-term loans, that's like pledging a roller coaster as collateral for your car. But the real chess move hides inside that phrase, national housing emergency, because emergencies justify shortcuts. With one declaration, the executive branch could override zoning delays, rewrite lending standards, even pressure the Fed for cheaper credit. And cheaper credit, it makes homes briefly affordable until prices explode again. So it's a sugar high for a market already addicted to debt. And here's the absurd part. Like, imagine this. Imagine a doctor treating diabetes by doubling your sugar intake. That's the United States housing policy in a nutshell. Every cure is a fresh dose of the disease. Now, reports suggest the White House wants a quick political win before 2026 midterms, a mission accomplished moment in suburbia. But markets aren't photo ops. They're ecosystems. And when you pump cheap money into scarce land, the first buyers are hedge funds with algorithms, not families with backpacks. So somewhere in this shuffle, homeownership morphed from a rite of passage to a financial product. Homes aren't built to live in, they're built to trade now. And while working families chase listings, private equity firms buy neighborhoods, sight unseen. It's the same trick they pulled in 1973 and '08, and now here in 2020, different logo on the podium, same transfer of wealth upward. But here's the interesting hope, right? Every policy mistake makes the real problem harder to hide. People are connecting the dots. That affordability isn't a math glitch. It's a design choice. The American dream didn't vanish. It was monetized. So as headlines shout, emergency declared, ask the quieter question, emergency from whom? Because when housing policy doubles as campaign marketing, the only guaranteed rescue is for the balance sheets at the top. And I can imagine you know where this is going, because the next debate won't be about home prices. It'll be about who controls credit itself. Because if presidents can declare economic emergencies like weather forecasts, democracy starts taking on water. And the question isn't whether the house of cards will fall. It's whether we'll still call it home when it actually does. All right, guys, do I have this all right? Do I have it all wrong? Let me know in the comment section below. I read and reply to all the comments, and I look forward to reading and hearing your opinion. All right, thanks again for watching The Baseline, guys, and we'll catch you in the next round. All right, cheers, everybody.